Three, two, one, go. All right, guys, I've got 4 mages set up. Each of them selling portals and also food in Stormwind City, trying to see exactly how much gold can I make selling portals. So as you can see, I've already got one sale going on here and then another sale going on. So like I said, I've got 4 mages. I each did them for an hour. So I got 4 hours total of, seeing how much money I can basically make selling portals. Now the thing is, when you're selling portals, there's only a finite amount of people that are going to come to you and purchase portals from you. So in that case, I'm trying to maximize the amount of gold I can make per transaction. So it's pretty simple that you also want to sell food and water. So when I hit 60, of course, getting my 55 water was very important. Now, of course, now that process happened over time, but if you haven't started selling portals already, then of course you'll be able to have this knowledge from day one from me providing it to you. So you're welcome. If I did teach you something, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. But basically I started off just selling portals. Eventually I had people asking me for water, so then I started selling water, and then eventually I had like warriors and rogues asking me for food, so then I included food. So it's just a process of continuing to optimize your business, no matter if it's a business in real life or if it's in World of Warcraft. You want to continually optimizing your offering to your consumers to make sure that you're going to be able to bring in the most business as possible and you're going to be able to thrive. So like I said, I got 4 mages set up, each doing an hour. I got it sped up 3 times. So at the end of 20 minutes, we'll have basically a good amount of hours in, portals sold, etc., water sold, food sold, to be able to get an accurate rate of how much gold per hour can you really make selling portals, water, food, etc. So as you can see right now, we're in Ironforge. I do spend the 10 silver each time to port around between cities when I am making transactions. Now that is going to cut into your costs a little bit, but I do think having that ability to port to other cities, so you can port people in Darnassus or Ironforge if you are sitting in Stormwind, I do think it is a benefit. Now at the end of this video, I am going to break down exactly the costs of how many runes did I purchase. Basically 10 silver for a teleport, 20 silver for a portal. So I'm going to tally all that up. I'm going to deduct that from the money I made. So that's going to give us a net profit, and we'll have exactly how much gold per hour we're making here. So as you can see here, right now I don't have any customers at the moment. Sometimes you do go through some dry spells where you're not really doing anything, but that's kind of great, for an AFK method, or at least a semi AFK method. You can do other things, whether you're watching YouTube or watching a stream. Now, if you're playing WoW, you could probably do that regardless, no matter if you're selling portals or, doing MC, you can watch movies and stuff. It's not really that high intensive of an APM game, but you could do other things like learning a skill. Maybe you're playing guitar at your desk and learn how to play guitar or learn how to play piano, and you're selling portals while you're doing that. For me, I work on YouTube videos and other things while I'm making these portals, or I'm researching, making, whatever it is. And, I like to be productive, but not only in game, but outside of game, I like to be productive. So that's what selling portals allows me to do. Now, if you did see the last WoW video I made, it was a video on a Stockades boost. Now that Stockades boost, it takes about 30-ish minutes, like 37 minutes in total for the 5 runs. Now what that does mean is that you'll have 23 minutes sitting in Stormwind basically doing nothing. So selling portals is something that you can do in the middle of your Stockades runs while you're waiting for your lockout to finish. So that is something we're trying. Now, of course, I wanted to do this for a whole hour so I could see exactly how much gold I was going to make per hour. And I do think the result is actually going to shock you. It actually is, a pretty decent amount. And now I'm going to go ahead and admit the portals are actually the worst thing about this. Okay, so number one, the portals, I sell them for 1 gold each. The other thing, you're paying up to 30 silver each transaction, 20 if you're portaling them out, and 30 if you're having to travel to their city and then portal them out, and then 40 if you're traveling to them, porting them out, and then you're also porting somewhere else for yourself as well. So you can potentially lose 40% of your revenue selling portals. Now on the other hand, when you do water and food, I sell those 6 stacks for 2 gold. So on one hand, I'm making double the amount, but on the other hand, I'm not having to pay any regent costs as well. So really, the main thing, is the water and the food. But typically, you'll have a little bit more portals than food and water customers. Now, the reason being for that is that any level from 1 to 60 is going to take advantage of the portals, but only people level 55 and up or 45 and up for the food are going to want to purchase those. Now, one thing you can do is you can play around with the amounts. So like I said, this is something I've slowly been optimizing over time. Now, I used to sell the water and the food for 1 gold for 6 stacks, but I ended up increasing it to 2 gold for 6 stacks because I actually encountered a lot of level 60s that are just tipping me extra anyways. And if you really think about it, if your core customer base are purchasing, especially the water or level 60s, these are people with plenty of gold. Now, they don't mind paying an extra couple gold. Now, of course, I have had, 1 or 2 occasions where I've had someone, maybe a little upset about the price, not understanding why I'm charging that. Now, you got to understand, level 55 water, that stuff's expensive, like super expensive. They're going to end up paying way more than 2 gold, for 6 stacks anyways. 2 gold for 6 stacks, that's 33 silver a stack. I think it's gonna cost like 2 gold per stack of 55 water, so it'd be like 12 gold for 6 stacks. So it's a lot more if you're gonna buy it from a vendor compared to the mage anyways. So I really think there's an argument to charge up to like 3, 4, maybe even like 5 gold for water and food. Now, on the other hand, maybe that's including you offering more stacks of water. So in my case, I'm offering 6 stacks per water for 2 gold. Maybe you're offering 12 stacks of water, which would be 2 full trade windows, and maybe you're getting 4 or 5 gold for that. Now, I think that's something we're trying. As you can see right now, I'm actually editing my macro right now, so you can get a peek at my macro and see exactly what I use. Now, of course, I'm playing WoW, so of course I disconnect for no reason, but I go back into my macro here and getting this finished up. Now, as you can see, I'm basically using all 255 characters, so I'm kind of limited on space, but just removing some of the consonants, the stuff that you don't need, like portals to Stormwind is just shortened to portals Stormwind. I'm trying to make any room that I can, but drop a comment down below. Let me know if I can improve this macro. Like I said, about this process of selling portals, food or water, I've slowly been improving this over time, and I feel like the macro that I have now is the best possible macro. But let me know what's been working for you guys. Let me know if there's anything I could change. And of course, I'll go ahead and paste my macro down in the description below. Now, while you're down there in the description, make sure you like the video as well. I really appreciate it. I'm really close to becoming partnered on this channel, which is a big dream of mine. I've wanted to become a YouTuber ever since I was a kid. And it looks like it's going to happen this year. Actually, it's going to become a reality for me, and I couldn't have done it without you guys watching and supporting these videos, so I really appreciate it. Now, what you're seeing on screen right now is a mage that I guess he thought I was asking for water and just made some water for me. Now, when your competition offers to give you free product, I'm just taking that, like inside the game or outside the game. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and flip that. Like, that's an easy flip. I don't know what that guy was thinking. He could have easily sold that for 2 gold, but now I'm gonna go ahead and sell it for 2 gold for myself. So right now we've actually got some double action, some double fisted money making action right now in the bottom right and the top right. We've got some money being made, which I love to see. Okay, now at the top left, the bottom left, no money being made, unfortunately. Right now we're fixing up the macros another time. This is actually on a different window here at a different hour. So as you can see, guys, I'm constantly adjusting my macros here, trying to make these the best possible macros. Number one, obviously, because I'm trying to make the most money as possible. I'm trying to get the best bang for my buck. But number two, I'm trying to get this knowledge so I can pass it on to you guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys for the support. I want to be here without you guys. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, because we got a lot more videos coming. Now, one thing that a supporter actually reached out for me to do was to make a stockades video. So like I said, I went ahead and made a stockades video. So if there is anything else you want to see in the comments, make sure you drop that down below. Now, one thing I encounter a whole bunch is I'll be in Stormwind and I'll invite somebody in Ironforge and they think that they should take the tram and meet me in Stormwind. Like, I'm a mage, bro. Like, I'm just going to port to your city. Like, I don't understand what you thought this was, but I'm not one of you peons that has to walk everywhere. I'm actually porting to your city right to you. So anyways, if you do have that happen, which if it I think it happened to me twice in 4 hours. So you're probably going to encounter this yourself. Just make sure you type in the chat, tell them to walk towards you so that they're not wasting your time and their time. As you can see there, I embarrassingly ran out of regents, which is, kind of embarrassing. Now, let's actually talk about level of service and quality of service. Okay, so we just had that instance where I was missing regents. I had to go to the vendor and purchase regents so I could port this guy out, right? And he gave me 1 gold. The portal was 1 gold, so I got no tip technically. Now, people would say, hey, the 1 gold is a tip. No, I charge the service for 1 gold. If you want a tip on top of that, you're more than welcome to do that. And I do have a lot of people that actually do tip on top of the 1 gold. So let's talk about how you can get more tips. Okay, number one, that's being prepared. So if you look at my bags right now on the screen, this is a terrible bag. Okay, I have a whole bunch of food and like no water. Okay, so this is very, very bad. Now, as you can see on the screen now, I've got a whole bunch of water, a whole bunch of food made. It's sectioned off. It's very, very pretty. That's what you need. Okay, so when you have someone that comes up to you, they're looking for water, they're looking for food, you've got it instantly, bam, right there. Okay, you don't want them waiting. You don't want your customers waiting. If you have them waiting at all any longer than is necessary, they're not going to tip you. This is just what I'm experiencing when I do these portal sales and the food sales and the water sales. Okay, so make sure you have your regents on you. Make sure you have your food with you. Make sure you have your water made. Huge tip for keeping your mana up. Number one, remember your buffs. Okay, as you can see on the screen right now, I have no buffs on because I'm an absolute buffoon. Okay, but most importantly, or really what the case is that I applied it at the beginning and now we're right around the 30-minute mark, so it just fell off. So eventually I'll realize and apply it again. But anyways, make sure you put on mage armor and arcane intellect. Okay, so even though you're in the city, you're still using your mana, so you still need to cast your arcane intellect and your mage armor. Okay, the mage armor is going to give you 30% mana regeneration even while you're casting. Okay, and the arcane intellect, every time you get a full mana bar, you're gonna have like 700 extra mana, or maybe it's not 700. I think it's actually like 21 intellect, so it'd be like 210. I think. I feel like it's more than that though. I'm too lazy to check. But anyways, so right now we're not making any money. If you did see, one of my guildies actually ended up asking for a portal, so I gave him a free portal. He actually pops up twice in this video, so as you can see, I am very popular, and that is something you're going to encounter as well when you're doing these, is that you will have guildies come up to you and ask you for ports. I just take it on the chin because of course I'm going to say yes, and no, I'm not going to charge them because they are a guildie. If you're charging your guildies for ports, like, come on, what are you doing? You shouldn't be charging your guildies for anything really, because you're all trying to work towards the common goals, so there's no need to really charge them. But anyways, we got some more money being made. I'm actually selling to what it looks like to be probably a Chinese gold farmer. He's playing a hunter, so you already know a bot's being used there. But I'm not going to report him. That's not my business. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to let him keep doing what he's doing. I don't think Blizzard cares anyways. Look at that bag, by the way. Oh my gosh, very, 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 very beautiful. Look, he gives me 2 gold. Okay, now of course the water and the food, it's 2 gold, but if I keep delivering service just like that, eventually I will get a tip. Okay, and that's the goal here. You might not get a tip every time, and if you go in with the expectations of getting a tip every time, you will be disappointed. But if you continue to provide good service, then you'll get a tip. Just right there, we get 2 gold for a portal because we're right there. We're quick with it. I even have my portals bound, guys. I have every single button on my screen bound. Okay, even my macros, when I spam out in chat, my portals, everything is macroed. If you want to know what my macros are, it's basically Alt, that's my modifier, and then it's Q, E, R, T, F, and G. So Alt Q and Alt E, those are my Stormwinds, teleport, and portal. And then Alt R and Alt T, that's Ironforge, portal, and teleport, or teleport and portal. And then Alt F and G, that's teleport and portal to Darnassus. So real quick, guys, it's like it's real easy to just like keybind these. You probably aren't using Alt G anyways, so just get used to using that. Or set it. It doesn't even have to be Alt G or Alt R or whatever. Just pick a keybind. It makes you look very, very professional when you're not sitting there, looking for the button. You can just go ahead and just click the keybind on your keyboard, and it's super, super classy, I think. But anyways, we're going to meet this customer. Like I said, if our customer is in a different city, we are teleporting to them. We are not letting that sale go away to another mage. I'm going straight there, and I'm picking up the sale for myself. And now we're back to the multi-screen here. We got the 4 mages and the 4 multiverses. And looks like the screen in the top right, we've got a paladin that wants a free portal once again. So this is going to be deducted from my total profit, because I'm not going to charge him once again for being a guildie. But that is just the reality. If you are a mage and you are in a guild and you're standing in a major city, and especially if you are offering ports to begin with, one of your guildies is eventually going to come up and ask you for a port. And like I said, I don't charge guildies at all for that. So that's going to come out of my profit, but it's okay. It's only 20 silver down the drain. I'll make sure I invoice them or something like that at the end. But anyways, back to the multi-screen, back to the multiverse, sitting around. There are going to be minute long stretches, and when I say minute long stretches, like up to 5-10 minutes sometimes, where you will not have a single customer come up to you. That's just the nature of the game. If you have a lemonade stand, it's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you're just going to have those times where nobody walks by for hours and hours, and you might want to set up or break down your setup and just walk away and go home and cry yourself to sleep because you made no sales. But in reality, in those moments, all you need to do is just stay focused on your goal. Make sure you put yourself in a position to make more money, make more gold, and you'll get it. So those dry times are only temporary. Eventually the waterfall comes again. And as you'll actually see here in a moment, we've got a customer coming in with the utmost efficiency. Okay, I could have sworn I had a customer coming in, but I guess I don't have a customer coming in. So not only am I not making any money right now, but also too, I'm looking crazy and stupid and ridiculous for not knowing my own video. But that's okay. We shake back from those. You can't always get a W. Sometimes you just get an L. But if you are able to get 2 L's, you are able to turn that into a W. Guys, you understand what I'm saying? At the end of this video, like I said, I'm going to break down the total profits, the total cost, all that jazz. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the end. We're almost done. We're about 45 minutes into the real life recording, and about half that or a third of that into the sped up version. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. At the end of this, it's basically slowing down, as you can see, but we are going to make a few more sales before the time is up. And one thing I've noticed is that you typically get a rush of people as soon as you start selling, and then all the people in the city that need portals or need water or need food, they all get fulfilled, and then you're basically waiting for the city to repopulate again. So if I did have any tips, my tips would be, don't do this for an hour long straight. I would actually recommend hop on, sell some portals, sell some water for a couple minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then once it starts to slow down, step away or leave or focus on something else for 5 or 10 minutes, and then come back once the city is repopulated with new people, and then do it all over again. And that, I feel like that's a good way to counteract those dry periods. But also remember, if you are looking for a pure efficiency standpoint, then obviously stepping away from the PC is not what you want to do. You want to stay at the PC the whole time and make sure you're getting those sales. But if you are looking for the most efficient method, really selling portals is not what you should be doing in the first place. It should be, boosting people or doing other gold farms that are not AFK methods, because the not AFK methods are actually going to get you more gold. Now, in the bottom right, it was actually really funny. This guy asked me for a port, I think to Darnassus, level 35 mage. And I opened the trade window with him, and he wasn't typing anything. And then he typed in the chat, like I can't type or whatever. So I just assumed he had no gold. So then I like stepped away from my PC and I actually went AFK. And then he tried to give me the gold actually, and then I was AFK. So that's an L that we took. But hey, what's the point of doing an AFK gold farm if you're not actually gonna go AFK every once in a while? So I feel like it's a realistic result. That I was actually AFK. You actually can see it in the bottom right. I'm actually still AFK, it looks like. But that's all right. It happens. I guess it's just my fault for being lazy, I suppose. Actually, I think I was making food at this time. I was probably a little hungry. So, and I did not make like pizza rolls or something. I was actually cooking something. Okay. So, give me some props for that. As you can see, we're making our last sales here, guys. We are making our last sales. This is the last call, and that is it. That's our last customer served. So we're going to cut it off. Once again, I appreciate you guys for watching, being a part of this experiment. I am going to go ahead and post all of the math on the screen right now for you to see. Boom, boom, boom. And there it is, guys. I appreciate you guys watching once again, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Okay, my name's Jenny. Peace and out. Peace.
Fortnite move.